hugging and helloing to do. Yeah. That's what we do here. We open up the tap to the fountain of love that we are, and we let it flow. Because doesn't it feel good? Yeah. It feels good here, and think of the difference it makes as we radiate that love out to everyone. So I'm grateful to have a full house. Facebook people, you're missing out this morning. This is a wonderful crowd. We're glad that you're connecting on Facebook. For everyone here in person, as the minister, yes, every Sunday I'm going to tell you you chose the right one to be here. But it's especially true here today because this is a Sunday that's very many months in the making and the planning to bring our friend Swami Sankarananda from West Virginia here to Yuma in person for Swami and I have been chatting on Messenger for quite a while to make this happen. And then, of course, we'll have a little bit more information during the announcements, but we're going to lunch at the Indian restaurant afterwards, so planting that seed, get hungry for curry, think about that. And then tonight, the Infinite Compassion Orchestra, a kirtan group that is just so wonderful, so beautiful and powerful, will be giving a concert, really a spiritual experience here today at 5 o'clock. That's tonight. So it is a wonderful day, and I'm grateful that you're here with us. And I'd like to welcome up Swami to give us a blessing to kick off our service. Please.
You're the blessing, actually. So this is from Swami Shivananda. It's a self-affirmation that Swami Shivananda would love for us to each take to heart. I'll say the affirmation and then we'll learn it together. Here's the affirmation. Through the grace of the Lord, I am getting better and better every day in every way. This is the truth, we know it, but we need to remind ourselves. And so let's learn it. You can repeat after me. Through the grace of the Lord, I am getting better and better. I am getting better and better. Every day. In every way. And now we can repeat it together from the heart. Through the grace of the Lord, I am getting better and better every day in every way. And let it be so.
So it is. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, should we stand and sing? Woo! And clap. And wiggle.
I start my day with love. When I start my day with love, that's what I get more of, is love. I start my day with love. When I start my day with love, that's what I get more of, is love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. I start my day with peace. When I start my day with peace, I feel that sweet release of peace. I start my day with peace. I start my day with peace. I feel that sweet release of peace. Peace, peace, peace. Peace, peace, peace. Peace, peace, peace. Peace, peace, peace. I start my day with joy. When I start my day with joy, everything I do is infused with joy. I start my day with joy. When I start my day with joy, everything I do is infused with joy. Joy, 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 joy. Joy, joy, joy. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy. And I feel that sweet release. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy. And I feel that sweet release.
And that's how we kick off a service. In consciousness and then with music. Thank you. And each week we share a reading from Dr. Ernest Holmes, a gentleman over on the wall. He is the founder of our tradition. The organization is called Centers for Spiritual Living, with about 400 centers around the world. And this one that's been here for about 50 years. And we share the science of mind. So we always love to have a reading from his writings. And to share this morning's reading, I'd like to welcome to the pulpit, Miss Judy.
Good morning, family.
Good morning.
So this reading is from one of my favorite books, The Essential, Ernest Holmes. And the reading can be found on page 123. Put my cheaters on. Take the heat out from under old hurts, and what's left is light. We are all marked to a certain degree by the experiences of the past. And since we cannot or should not wish to obliterate memory, it becomes necessary for us often to reverse our thinking about the past. For instance, let us say that someone breaks a limb, suffers considerable pain, and goes through a long and trying period of recovery. It is most certain that there is no need of forgetting that he's gone through this experience, but at the same time, there is no reason why he should continually relive the memory of the pain and anguish that went along with the experience. It is for this reason that psychology definitely states that it is not the experience through which we go, but rather our emotional reaction to it which causes harm. However, some seem to take a particular delight in inflicting such torture upon themselves. To remove the emotional content of undesirable experiences is often of value to calmly and coolly bring them up in memory, to quietly live them over again, and recognize them as events, but definitely realize that they no longer need have any content of fear, of horror, of pain. Remember the incident, but remove and dismiss any morbidity of emotion that surrounds it. It is a fact of experience, it was lived, but there is no necessity to keep on living it mentally and emotionally today. That was life at the time, but an entirely new life is being lived today, if we will but let ourselves live it. See only what you wish to experience and look at nothing else. No matter how many times the old thought returns, destroy it by knowing that it has no power over you. Look it squarely in the face and tell it to go. It does not belong to you, and you must know and stick to it that you are now free. So
What a wonderful reading. Thank you. Sometimes people who are new to our center ask, well, what do you teach there? It's kind of a big answer, because we share the science of mind, which is a synthesis of so many different spiritual traditions and religions and writings of the metaphysical authors. Dr. Holmes studied all of this and brought it together into this teaching. So we honor all paths to that one truth. which is wonderful. Every tradition, every religion out there has that golden thread of truth and wisdom to lift us up, to inspire us, and to guide us. So every Sunday, we have a ceremony called Lighting of the Flames of Faith, where we recognize all these different traditions that bless us, that guide us, and let's welcome into our hearts everyone represented by these religions. And boy, we're going to be welcoming the whole world into our hearts. Doesn't that sound good? Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
We perform this ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all people of all faiths, all lifestyles come from the one great universal presence which we call spirit. Fundamental to this truth is the unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here today. We light a candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light a candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, honoring the way of primal spirituality. We light a candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light a candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light a candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light a candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light a candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. We light a candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light a candle for all forms of New Thought, our movement, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through universal spiritual principles. And now as we light the healing candle, let us pray together. Let us pray for your beloveds. Let us pray for this world. You can name anyone out loud or in your heart, any place, any situation in this world where you are affirming the revelation of God's perfect presence, love, healing, and peace. How wonderful it is to know that our prayers this morning are heard as they are always heard by God, which is a universal presence, not a deity, but a presence, an electric intelligence, an energy of high consciousness that is the one creator, that is the one source, that isn't in this universe, it is this universe of peace, of joy, of love, inspiration, wisdom, and connection. All those ingredients that come forward to make a wonderful life, that is what God is. And we remember this morning that we are all of that, waiting to be revealed within us. For we are eternal, perfect, whole, and complete spiritual beings, lifetime after lifetime, here on this spiritual journey to remember our magnificence, to remember our wholeness, to remember that God is within us and all around us, in every one, including everyone prayed for this morning. There is wholeness there already waiting to be revealed, and it's revealed this morning. God knows how to move through each and every person and situation prayed for this morning, knowing how to bless them in the very best way at the very perfect time. We remember this morning that we are powerful conduits of this high consciousness, and our prayer for others begins in our own minds and hearts, remembering our truth. And when we do that, and when we speak our word of affirmation for our beloveds or for the entire world, there is a shift, and everything is brought into closer alignment with that spiritual truth that is waiting here and everywhere, within me, within you, and within all people, all spirits, waiting to be recognized, waiting to be unveiled and lifted up into our experience. And that's what's happening this morning. Easily, naturally, for this is how this universe is created, to serve us, to serve everyone, to lift up when we remember the light is here and the light is everywhere. And in that remembering, all is well, all is healed, and so it is.
So it is. One breath at a time. One breath at a time. That's where grace comes in. One breath at a time. One breath at a time. One breath at a time. That's where grace comes in. One breath at a time. One breath at a time. One breath at a time. That's where grace comes in. One breath at a time. One step at a time. One step at a time. That's where peace comes in. One step at a time. One step at a time. One step at a time. That's where peace comes in. One step at a time. One breath at a time. One breath at a time. One breath at a time. That's where grace comes in. One breath at a time. One breath at a time. One breath at a time. That's where grace comes in. One breath, one breath, one breath at a time. One breath at a time.
Proof of the one mind and the connection we all have is how wonderful the song introduces the speaker with no planning on our end. One breath. Yes, the signs of mind, as with the Eastern teachings, to remind us there's all this stuff out there, there's all this doing out there, that we benefit from shifting from doing to being. And what do we have? We have our breath. And he knows I'm gonna comment, steps, one step at a time. To think of how many steps it took Swami to walk from, wasn't it Pasadena?
Yes, the first time I came to Yuma, I walked here from Pasadena.
From Pasadena to Yuma to Egg Harbor, New Jersey, which is incredible. He walked across the country, he came to Yuma, and he has not stopped visiting us since. Sometimes online in a recording, and it's been a while to have him, since he's moved to the other coast, to have Swami Sankarananda here in person, and today's the day, and I'm grateful for that. So let's open our hearts and our minds for a wonderful, uplifting message from Swami Sankarananda.
Good morning. Good morning. Here we must start the official yoga way. So that is, we have to chant Om together. We can chant it 3 times. Gives us an opportunity to come back to the breath, to be aware of the breath. So a conscious inhale, and then a conscious exhale. Exhale the lungs completely. And then inhaling into the abdomen, we'll begin. Good morning. It's wonderful to be back with you in person. Jai, Jai is victory. Jai, Om. Good morning. And to everyone joining us online, good morning. So beautiful. Okay, so the topic this morning is freedom. I put it all in caps with an exclamation mark at the end of it. That's what I sent to Darren. So this morning, let's talk about freedom. What is freedom? What is bondage? If there is a need for freedom, there has to be something that's binding us. And then, what is freedom from bondage and how to achieve it? And so we start here. You're already free. Okay, I'm done. It's actually where we start though. You're already free. You are already what you seek. You are already whole and complete. You are already love, absolute. You are already bliss, joy, absolute. You are already peace, supreme peace, absolute. You are already omnipresent and omniscient. You are already one with God and one with everything and everyone. Already so. This is the teaching of Dr. Holmes. This is the sharing of every saint and sage. And so it's so incredibly simple in this way. We don't say it's easy, but we say it's simple. If we allow for it, what this means is, if it is so that I am already, that which I am seeking, then why is it that it seems otherwise? And how do I remove this? And this is what we work with. This is what spiritual path is about. Every single religion starts with this core ideal, and the discovery or realization of the one that we call a saint, a sage, a prophet, a seer, whatever, that within me, at my center, is the fullness, is the entire universe, is all that I seek. And then how do we point? So the foundational principle, certainly for Dr. Holmes' teachings, and here are this. I want to share from an unlikely source a paragraph which will give us a little bit of guidance for our discussion this morning. And the unlikely source is Dr. Einstein. Albert Einstein. And there are several quotes floating about from Albert Einstein. Many of them are made up, but I'll share one that we know is authentic. And it's a very accurate translation from a letter that he wrote to a dear friend in 1950, about 4 years before he left the body. So the Albert Einstein we know a little bit about was a scientist, and we attribute the theory of relativity to Dr. Einstein. But that wasn't actually his highest accomplishment, interestingly enough. And he shares his highest accomplishment in this letter to his friend. And so here is the translation. A human being is a spatially and temporally limited piece of the whole, what we call the universe. He experiences himself and his feelings as separate from the rest, an optical illusion of his consciousness. The quest for liberation from this bondage is the only object of true religion. Not nurturing the illusion, but only overcoming it gives us the attainable measure of inner peace. And if you hear this, it's so beautifully offered, and it speaks to the situation that we're dealing with. In fact, we have a shared experience, and how our shared experience starts is we each experience the sense of separation. It's actually how our shared experience starts. When we wake up in the morning, and here I'll ask this as a question. When you wake up in the morning from deep sleep, do you notice that it takes a moment to remember who you are? Yes? Do you notice that? You're aware of that? And to remember what you're doing today? Yes? It takes a moment to remember. But I'll turn it around. I'll say it takes a moment to forget. Only a moment to forget. Only a moment to forget. The first experience that we have together is the sense of separation, the sense of lack, the sense of being this body, the sense of incompletion, of longing. Yes? It's the funniest thing, the oddest thing, because in fact, it's universal. Every single one of us. Doesn't that seem interesting? But upon investigation, what we discover is that we're not actually separate. And this is what each of the saints and sages, this is absolutely the essence of Dr. Holmes' teaching. Yes. Science of mind relates to what am I suffering from? And what I'm suffering from, we can call it a defect in the mind, an errant idea, a false notion of separation. A false notion, a false idea of separation. When in fact, there's nothing here that's separate. In the same way that the sun, it's the nature of the sun to shine. The sun simply shines. And the shine of the sun we call rays. In the same way, it is the nature of the one to shine, and the shine of the one we call world. And it seems as if we are separate. And so the teachings in all the traditions are that we're not separate, that the I in me is actually the I in you. It's the weirdest thing. It seems the other way around. And yet, my I and your I are one. The experiencer, the witness, consciousness itself are one. And what we experience are different plays, different thoughts, different notions. Perfect in a way. We have in Sanskrit, we have this beautiful mantra, and the mantra is Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudashate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Visishate. Om, that, meaning the absolute, is full. This, meaning world, is full. This fullness has been projected forth from that fullness, in the same way that the rays of the sun are projected forth from that unity of sun. And when the seeker finds that the fullness, that is this, then we say enlightened, awake, free. Like this. And so this is our situation. We have subscribed to an idea that I am this body, that I am this mind, that I am this emotional nature, that I am this story. And each of us have a story. And the reading this morning is so beautifully perfect, and of course, no accident how it ended, was it? Free. Free. So I have a story, but I'm not the story. Yes? I have a story, but I'm not the story. And I can tell the story, and I can imagine different possibilities within the story, and I can even imagine how these different possibilities might have led to some different experience, and that might have been better, and oh my goodness, what a sport that is, isn't it? What a sport that is, if only. And yet, I'm not the story. This is the point. We can take a moment right now, just a little practice. Everyone walked in here this morning with a story. And I'm going to invite everyone to let go of it. Just as a practice, imagine that you have no past, that there was nothing that led up to this moment. All of it. Let it go. Just for a moment, it's okay. It's safe. You'll be all right. Let it all go. And this idea of a future and what will come next, see if you can let that go too. what remains is life. You don't have a life, you are life. This is what remains. And so there are two choices in our life, and this is really where we come to how to be free. First, if we allow for the possibility that I'm free already, and that this bondage that I've taken on is of the nature of thought, a series of thoughts, a way of thinking, a way of experiencing, a way of relating, but entirely rooted in a falsehood. Entirely rooted in a falsehood, and the falsehood was lack, separation, that I needed something. If we allow for this to have been a falsehood, then we see the two paths, the two choices in life. One is to honor this falsehood and to live our life in order to fill the hole that seems to be created by subscribing to the falsehood. And the other choice is to live our life to honor the unity that is. To find it, to mine it, to develop a deeper relationship with it, to embody it, to offer it. And we say the first is the path of bondage, and the second is the path of freedom. And again, it's so simple, not easy, because these thoughts creep into this now. When we have a lovely gathering or a lovely sit together, the thoughts creep in, and the story seems to take over. And so we have to practice. If we're going to be present, if we're going to be here and now, if we're going to be full as we are, then we have to practice it. And that's really where spiritual path comes in. It's not that you're trying to add something. In the same way that when the Buddha was asked, what did you gain when you realized yourself? What did you gain? He says, nothing, but I'll tell you what I lost. Fear, anger, hatred, greed, delusion, like this. In the same way, this is really what our path is about. It's a path of revealing, opening, welcoming, unity. Dr. Holmes calls it mysticism. And it's called by many different names, but it's really living to see, to honor the unity, to live as one. Easy to live as one with the things we like, hard to live as one with the things that we don't like. And so practice, and there are 3 practices, but I'll share with you first. We'll talk about the 3 practices briefly as we close, but I'll share the most important thing is motivation. We're moving in our life one of 2 directions, and we move according to our own will. In other words, what we want, we get. We move that direction. I want a new car, I get the new car eventually. How long does it take? I don't know. I want a new partner, I get the new partner eventually. I want a new church, I want to do this. I want to get rid of that, we get it. We always succeed. It's true. Look, you see, because we stay with it. And here it's a question of direction. What do I want? Do I want to live life as a fractal, as a part, as a piece, as a limited being? Or do I want to live life as a unity? And this is really the question for us. And I advocate the latter, of course, because what we discover is I am what I sought. Not in a limited sense, but in the real sense, in the sense of consciousness, in the sense of unity, love, in the sense of peace. And so the 3 practices come into mindfulness, practicing being aware. And that's not sleeping, that's being awake. being aware of the thoughts that are arising, being aware of the words that are being spoken, making conscious choices. This is the first group of practices. The second, concentration of mind. The difficulty we run into is the mind is full. It's full of what? Limited ideas. Because from that original error came my entire story and the way I created my story. And now I have my story, and as Dr. Holmes said, I have a chance to develop a different relationship with it, which is I can learn from it, but that's not who I am. And so concentration is practice with the mind in order to rewrite the memory banks, to bring the light to them. The best practice is what we call mantra, or vibrations, engaging in beneficial thoughts, beneficial speech, beneficial actions. And this evening, the reason why we're bringing our dear friends in for the 5 p.m. gathering is to help the community with the practice of mantra. And God willing, you'll all join and we'll participate together, and whatever benefit you get will not be from the souls presenting, although they're amazing. It will be from the mantra. And the third is insight, or developing a relationship with Guru, Holy Spirit, the intuitive nature within us. And it's real, it exists, but it speaks a language that the human mind cannot understand. And so be still and know. This is where be still and know comes from. But really opening ourselves to wisdom, which is unity, which is the consciousness of being. Connecting to it intentionally. And this is it. So every day, we can start with this. To the grace of the Lord, I am getting better and better every day in every way. So we are learning. What we're learning is to remember, to realize who we already are. So God bless us, everyone. Om.
I want to thank Shai for coming and singing with me today. And
Good to be here. Thank you, Swami.
I am
am not the skin on the outside. I am not my age. I am not my race. My soul inside is all light. All light. All light. I am 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 divinity defined. I am the God on the inside. I am a star, a piece of it all. I am light. 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 I
Hi, my name is Carolyn, and I am privileged to lead us into this time of joyous support of our center. If you'll say along with me our affirmative giving blessing. Divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, to prosper, and to bless. It is evidence of my conviction that God is the source and substance of my supply. I joyously contribute to the vision of this center, knowing that it returns to me multiplied abundantly, and so it is.
I'm going to sing a little song written by our Dana man right here. I circulate prosperity for all that Spirit's everybody given me. I trust, I believe, I ask, and I receive. I treat, and it's done. Then relax and have more fun. I circulate prosperity for all that Spirit's given me.
And we bask in that prosperity, that abundance, that circulation, the peace of this space where we get together every Sunday and often in between. And we know our connection, that we are one, and this is our center, and we support it beautifully. And so it is.
So it is. I think this past week there wasn't a time that we weren't here, or many other groups weren't here. And we're going into the Jewish High Holy season, so the Jewish folks have been here a lot, and P-Flag and all of our wonderful groups. So boy, now we're going to talk about what else is going on. And today, like I said, we are going to Curry's. A friend said, "Is that your favorite Indian?" A friend who lives in Phoenix, "Is that your favorite Indian restaurant?" I'm like, yes, it's also Yuma's only Indian restaurant, but you'll see up there 711 East 32nd Street. We do have a reservation, and I'm hoping it's for that party room. When you walk in, go around the bar, and through those back doors. I'm hoping that's where we'll be. So if everyone wants to head over there after the service, that will be wonderful. It's a great time to spend time with Swami and for us to spend time together. And then tonight, we're going to have a good meal on us, and we have such a wonderful, again, it's not music, it's mantra, it's spirit, the Infinite Compassion Orchestra. They are a kirtan ensemble, the best in Arizona, out of Tucson, and I'm sure this is their first time coming to Yuma, and we have a video for you. What a wonderful chance for you to see the Like I said last week when we shared the first video, and everyone's starting to move. And for that energy to come through us, that's proof of, that's a tiny taste. And think of it's going to be an hour and a half, 2 hours tonight. Think of how, as Swami said, we will feel.
You'll be so buzzed.
Yeah, because that's a Sanskrit word. That's
With
good.
no hangover.
Yeah. Nothing external, only on the internal. That's awesome.
The mind becomes the vibration.
Amen. And we have a wonderful food pantry for our community. It's where the kids' room kind of used to be. When you walk out, it'll be that far room, and that is here to serve you, to serve anyone who attends this center or any of the different groups that use our center to support you in your food needs. If you have a need, visit the pantry. And if anyone who can help anyone with the pantry, if you want to raise your hand, if you want to talk to somebody about how to receive some food, that's wonderful. And also how to give. And it's wonderful. So it's already made such a big difference in people's lives, and we're just starting really to get the donations to come through and for people to be finding out about it. But to help get the word out, we're having a workshop. The group creating, Citizens Creating Safe Spaces in Yuma. They're kind of a sister group with PFLAG. They've asked us if we would want to work together on having a workshop on what is a community pantry, how can we support it, because there's different ways. It's kind of how we can be creative in our support of it and how people can benefit from it. And there's also going to be a great discussion on how to save when you're doing your own shopping. You know, some couponing techniques and some tricks and some tips, and so that will be wonderful. That'll be here December 8th at 7 p.m. And we'll put that on Facebook as well. So everyone's invited. And it's this time of year, and one of our favorite things, I think this is the third time we've done this, our Christmas sing-along. So to tell us more about this, I want to welcome up Miss Lynn Hernandez.
Good morning. So we're going to do a Christmas, it's not a karaoke, it's a sing-along. Me and my group of singers here will be up at front, but anybody can come up with us. I really love having the kids come up. So if you guys want to bring kids along, they can come up and sing with us, and I love doing the little drummer boy with the kids. But we're going to have some snacks too, and maybe some hot cocoa. Petronelle's not here, but no, she makes a killer. What is it?
Mulled cider. That's very good.
And so we'll have that. And so if you want to sign up, I'm losing my voice, sorry.
She's been working that voice this morning.
If you want to sign up to bring some goodies, cookies, your favorite cookies, let me know, or let Roselle, and am I putting you on the spot? I'm sorry. Anyways, I'm going to go sit down because I can't talk.
It's going to be great for the sing-along. Thank you, Lynn. Thank you. That's always so much fun. And of course, that's leading into our Christmas candlelight service. It's not going to be on Christmas Day, which is kind of nice, so that we can be together for our Christmas celebration, and then you can be with your family and friends on that date, on the holiday. So we will be having our Christmas service on December 21st. And that will be wonderful. And that day, we won't have really a meal afterward. The next Sunday will be our potluck. So it'll be our in-between Christmas, New Year potluck, and that will be wonderful. And what better way to get ready for this new year than to go into a deep study of science of mind, and that's through Foundations class. Foundations of Science of Mind. It's our Cadillac class where you learn the teaching and how to benefit from it, how to apply it. You know, it's about the meditation, about affirmative prayer, about visioning and visualization, learning those foundational spiritual truths, again, for you to have a more joyous, peaceful, and prosperous life. How to waken up to the divinity within you. So if you kind of let me know, if you're interested, what I do then is kind of find out when's a good night for everybody, and we'll pick a night, then we'll announce it. So I just want to, I'm planting seeds right now, because sometimes people say, oh, I don't know if I'm interested, but boy, the heart says, yeah, you are. So let me know, and that's wonderful. And for everyone online too, to let us know, and we'll be posting more information about all these events on Facebook. If you don't follow our Facebook page, I really invite you to. Our page on YouTube, where we keep everybody informed and inspired. And thank you. Thank you for being here. I wish people on Facebook could see all these beautiful faces, you know, who are here today. Thank you for gifting us with your presence, and thank you for gifting yourself this experience of coming to be in this positive, beautiful place with wonderful people and to hear from Swami Sankarananda. So let us end our service in song. If you're here for the first time, what we do is we stand up, we make a big circle, and we sing our, probably the anthem of our organization, Let There Be Peace on Earth, with the words up on the screen. Big circle.
Are you all right? Sorry. We need to do that.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as our power, united all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now.
after me, please. Something wonderful is happening in my life right now.
Something wonderful is happening in my life right now.
I know it.
I know it.
I believe it.
I believe
I
it.
feel it.
I feel
I
it.
accept it.
I accept it.
Thank you, life.
Thank